This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network.
You know the way, like, you wonder, are you going to turn into your parents? That one of my favourite jokes from the TV show Friends was that when Rachel Green said, "I spent so long trying not to become my mother, I've become my father." I thought that was a really good joke, and that's, I'm relating to it because not that I tried not to become my parents, but I do notice myself becoming my mom, like just around. If I do like a big clean in the house, I caught myself saying this to Raymond at home. These are the things I've said. I was like, "No, do you not like it when it's clean like this? Like,
yeah.
Do you not like that?" Yeah. Or sometimes I'll say, like, I said that out loud, or I've gone back, or I've put in new candles and I've lit them, and then come back and go, "No, I think they're lovely. They're lovely. They're lovely. That's actually lovely." And then I caught myself doing that. Now, I haven't actually said this one out loud because I caught myself in time, but it was like, if I pick up something off the floor, I'd turn to Raymond as if he is my child and go, "Do you not see the dirt? Do you not see the dirt?" And I'm like, I haven't said that out loud, but I have taught it. I have taught it. You know, when we were kids once, my mum was giving out to us. There were three of us in the one bedroom at one stage, and she said, "Do you know what I picked up off your floor the other day? Do you know what I picked up off the floor? A piece of shit." We were like 7, so I'm like, chances were it probably was a piece of shit. Probably was some shit there.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
That's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
That's the thing. Like, you know, the way this modern parenting now allow for that. There's a modern parenting allow for people to just go fucking awful. I remember one time my dad smashed a table. It sounds like he was an aggressive. He wasn't. He was just so tired, and we were being so annoying. And he was like, "Stop it! That's enough! That's enough!" And he smashed this table, and we were like, "All right, girl." And like, we didn't care. We were like, okay. We couldn't wait for him to leave, so we could talk about, like, "Oh my God, see me smash that table." It was only a piece of shit. It wasn't a real table or anything. But like, I feel very scared now. My dad will somehow hear that and go, "No, it's not a violent manner."
There's a line though, isn't it? There's a kind of like up to the point of anger, and there's a sweet spot about here where it's like, okay, he means business, but then it's like, hang on the fuck, let's talk about that shit for a second. That was a bit of an overreaction.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're young, you don't quite pick up on it, but then around 7, you're kind of like, that was a bit fucking.
But I'd say whenever my mom came home, she just laughed at him for doing that.
Yeah.
It was like, because, like, you know, it's just so stupid. But we were so he probably was like, did work, then was cooking us dinner, and we were like scribbling and scrobbling and fighting or whatever, having scraps or whatever. Then he was like, "Shut the fuck up."
My dad.
I get that.
There's too many of us.
He obviously English isn't his first language, so he would get angry, but like it's very hard to be angry in a different language, and so he would slowly his language skills would get so contracted, like the muscles, and he just couldn't speak, and he'd be like, you know, you'd just being a little bollocks or whatever like that, and he'd be like, "You are don't, it's so no, and really not okay, no, that's okay, no." And like it came out, and he would just pick things up and then put them back down kind of aggressively. So you're like picking up, like he got this cup here, and he'd be like, "No, it's not, it's no, I don't like it, say wrong, okay, guys, not okay."
It's like he's having an English
He
stroke.
did. I remember one time we were driving to Germany. And we were driving to Germany, four of us all in the car just fucking screaming at each other. And he was like, "This is it, this ain't go." And then he pulled the car in on the fucking, like, in the hard shoulder, whatever it's called. He goes, "This car, it ain't going nowhere." This car ain't going nowhere. Just can't speak English.
Good. I don't have children, but lots of my friends do now, and I feel like people are moving away from that. There's a therapy speak element, that type of falseness to, like, you know, that there's a famous TikTok of the woman saying she's playing with the lamp, and I don't say no or stop, I say whatever.
Yeah.
You have children. Is there a move away from that? Like,
100%.
Can you just not scream and shout and stamp your feet?
You can't scream and shout, and this is what you have to do.
But are we damaged from it?
I don't know. Well, what it is kind of like sometimes the overreaction. So say if it's like, there was a moment where Sonny was too aggressive with Indy, and he was trying to ride her around like a horse. She was crawling, and he's trying to ride her around like a horse.
That's fun.
But, you know, he's kind of like bucking on her, and she's like falling every time, you know. And then I was like, "You're being a bit too rough with her there, so, you know, I might have to protect her. I might have to take her away. You know, I might have to move her somewhere else, not take her away. You don't say that." And then, so he kept doing it, so I took her to put her somewhere else, and he went to try and fucking hoof her in the head.
Oh my God.
And that really, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, Sonny. And I could feel, I have a sixth sense for knowing when my wife was looking at me, so I knew she was looking at me, so I had to be like, now, son, I know it's tough, man. You're angry. I know you really want to kick the fucking head off your sister. Like, I know it. That's what you have to be like. I know it's hard, buddy. I know it's hard. You have these big feelings. You want to kick the fucking head off a little baby.
Why is that better?
It's better for them acknowledging that they're annoyed. Well, one, a tantrum's going to happen either way. So they need to end the tantrum. So you could be button heads with them, but they don't get closure on the loop unless they finish the tantrum. So all you have to do is kind of guide them in the best way, in the safest way, to have the tantrum like an isolated bomb somewhere else. But the thing is, a lot of parents, you know, if he like, he could easily just say like, fuck you, you know, and I have to, and if I rise to that, then he's going to rise to it, and then
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, fuck you. How dare you say that to me? How dare you say that? Fuck you to me. You know, it's not going to get you anywhere. So you have to be like, I know you're angry, man. So look, we can talk about that later when we're a bit calm. You know, in the same way in a relationship.
If he's terrified of you, like I was terrified of my parents.
Yeah, I was
and
terrified of my dad. Yeah,
they had a level.
When he
This
got
sort
angry.
of like your parents. This is how I understood it. Was they had a level that they never really had to go to, but we all understood was there. Like when your mum counts to 5, 5, we've never gone to 5,
Yeah.
but it terrifies me, the concept of 5. So it's like you're kind of policing them with the fear of how angry they could get. It probably doesn't exist. Like my little brother, he kind of saw through that because he's like 10 years younger. And he saw through that and he didn't like, he wasn't scared. She was like, yeah, fucking count to 5. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
You've
like,
been
and then
around.
my mum would be like, 5. What do we do? What do we do? I don't know. It's showtime.
Take out his sword.
Takes out his sword. Is just crying, going, I'm so sorry you made me do this.
Yeah.
Never let
4.75.
The babies
Yeah.
always know. They always have ways around it. They're tired. You have 4 as well, isn't it, in your
Yeah,
family?
there's 4 of
I have
us.
4 as well. So the youngest one's like, I can do what I want.
Yeah.
And like, we got loop the loops. He got Solero shots. You know what I mean? This is the, you know, well, that just, you know, the economy was
I
changing.
didn't know he
The
was a
Celtic
billionaire.
Tiger. The Celtic Tiger. Yeah.
That was with £1.70.
Cornetto softs.
Wow.
Whatever he wanted, he got it. Anyway, but yeah, they figure out ways. He used to say, my mum, okay, so he'd broken something or whatever. He'd be like, no, don't get mad. Don't get mad. And it's like,
That's
that's so
adorable.
cute.
That's
Yeah, that he
adorable.
knew what he was doing. Absolute little
He's
psycho.
doing like modern parenting with your parents. As
Yeah.
a child.
That's really good.
No, don't get mad. But I shat in the bath, or whatever it would be.
The poo, the shit on the floor was me. And now
Yeah.
I'm going to let you have your tantrum.
But like, I don't know. Like, I in answer to the thing as well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to be any different. I think what you're actually, what this generation are trying to make is something we've never seen before. A super soldier of emotions, someone who just knows emotions from a very early age and is able to be like, I'm a bit anxious now. I need to go for a walk now at 8. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of the thing you're trying to do, because it took me years to realize that, like, oh, I'm like tired and I'm angry. And that those are affecting my decisions. I'm making a lot of decisions in emotional states, you know. But if they can acknowledge the emotions and give themselves, like, we got this book on being angry, and it was like these 2 techniques, and it was like, so when you're feeling angry, you should try smell the flowers. Put the flowers in your hand. Try smell the flowers 5 times. You go, or try and blow out the candles 5 times. You know,
That's cute.
So
just absolutely hoofing
Yeah,
flowers. Like,
Flowers not enough anymore.
yeah. But this is what I kept saying to Terry, because I was like, can I not snap at him? And she's like, no. You know, because I wouldn't mind just a nice, not, you know, because my mum once said, I'm going to chase you around the house with an axe. Not hit. Keyword, not hit. I'm going to chase you around the house with a fucking axe. You know, stop. You know?
I think
So
that's
stressed.
so good though.
Yeah.
You seem fine.
Yeah. Yeah, but
It's like quavering your voice as you said, yeah.
Seeing you in the window playing with Tony.
Tony isn't here.
do you ever see those fucking annoying TikTok being like, where people act out these fantasies of talking to their boss, and they're like, well, no, because I'm actually scheduled to work only 40 hours.
my God.
And what you've
Insane.
allocated there is probably about 50 hours worth of work. Am I going to be compensated? Well, if you're going to be a team player, well, I believe my own personal mental health. Like, who the fuck Do that in real life and film it. Get it on CCTV. Let me see you actually be that way to another person, you fucking clown. You are getting a generation of Americans fired. Fired by going in there trying to regurgitate this line, watching it shot for shot. Yeah. Well, am I being paid for 40 hours? Or am I being paid more 50 hours? And they're like, what? You know, they're gonna
Stay late.
The blend of
fucking sagged.
The blend of two cults, the therapy speak and corporate jargon mixed together to create the worst people in the world. That is what's happening now.
Terry's caught me out like in a second using therapy speak where I'm all like, I've been watching some TikToks or whatever, and she'll ask me to do something, and I'll be like, Terry, I'm kind of feeling at capacity right now for any kind of, and she's like, what the fuck? It's like, don't be giving me your therapy speak, like, fucking do your shit. You know, she catches it straight away.
The weaponized therapy speak has been done by people who are mad bastards.
The Jonah Hill therapy speak of like, I mean, we should never have had been privy to the messages of him, you know. I mean, I don't think we should have ever seen these messages. I mean, it's when you involve someone in the overall conversation of male abuse and everything. I think it's on one spectrum anyway, not on the very, very far extreme.
Great, but now say what you really think.
But what I really think is he's using this therapy speak to be like, you know, I'm at kind of emotional capacity for seeing you be with other people. Essentially saying, don't see anyone else, don't hang out, don't dress in a certain way, and it's all framed around it. But this is what I've made a choice about my own personal mental health, and if you want to be on along with me, it's still like my way or the highway.
Yeah.
But it's said in this kind of grandiose kind of therapy speak.
What is it? He says, these are my needs.
Boundaries.
My boundaries.
Boundaries,
But his boundaries are just hurt. He's like, it's actually one of my boundaries that you have to just like walk around in a bikini all the time.
Yeah. There is something to be said for that. Right, well, you've expressed all these needs and boundaries, so then these are unfeasible. So that is the end of the relationship. Goodbye.
Yeah.
There is something like, okay, well, that was useful because now
It's
I'm out of here.
Two
Like,
therapy speaking AIs.
Yeah.
Very, very solemnly breaking up. Thank you for communicating your boundaries. I'm going to exit now.
You know who's part of it? That conscious uncoupling. That was a moment. That was a cultural shift when Chris Martin and what's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Apple.
One of the worst people on the planet.
Hey, stop it now. That's Pepper Potts from Iron Man we're talking about there.
Whatever. She doesn't care about that.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't even know what movie she's in. She's like, I've never been in a Spider-Man. She's like, you've been in all the Spider-Man.
There's a cute.
Has she been in a Spider-Man?
No, she's been in 2 Spider-Man movies.
There's a cute thing
When
where
Iron
they
Man
were
was.
on Graham Norton, and then she's like, Tom Holland is on it as well, and then they're like asking her this film, and she was like, "Was I in that?" And he's like, "Yeah, you were in that." And she's like, "Okay." So I like her for that, but actually, she's an idiot.
But give me that pussy soap, mate.
Pussy candle.
Give me that pussy candle,
What is
mate.
going on?
You know, she has this thing. She had this thing about alkaline water. So they had this thing that people. Every time I hate podcasts because I feel like I sound like the radio. Did you guys see this? So Gwyneth Paltrow, and then in the background, little feet. Gwyneth Paltrow. Yeah, she had a alkaline water, right?
Anyway,
And
here's
then a
Doja Cat.
gap for music, and then come back in. Anyway, she had this thing, alkaline water, and she's like, I take alkaline water, and then I just put in a drop of lemon juice. And it's like, that's acid. That is the opposite of alkaline. Now you have acid water. That's
Now
the
you've got
opposite.
a pH neutral water.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I-
slapping her in the face with your junior certs.
No,
Junior cert science.
No, I saw a doctor talk about it.
pH 7.
But this I can't understand. I'm becoming. You know the way like millennials. Remember when millennial was invented a few years ago, and millennial we were all millennials, and we're like these upstarts, right? And then now, really quickly, millennial is now old thing.
Yeah.
It's an old thing really quickly, and you're like, okay, this is the natural order.
I feel like we're
guess.
6 months away from a new, like after Gen Z, after, you know,
Back to
Zoomer.
alpha then, isn't it?
Alpha?
Wait, what?
Alpha comes after Gen Z because that's the end of the alphabet.
Tony told me he was alpha.
Tony thinks he's got the alpha mindset.
No, it's
He
unfortunate.
doesn't.
Shane's the alpha.
Shane is the alpha in
I know.
the young hot guys scenario.
I don't think that's true.
It is very
You
true.
are the alpha.
You're the alpha.
How am I?
Well, compliment me more.
No, I'm so vulnerable.
Yeah, you are, but
I'm
like,
beta.
you
I'm
know,
beta, baby.
you're
Keep it
probably,
beta.
probably the most opinionated. Will
I wanted
probably
to do
what you want to do.
I had this idea of doing like beta influencers, going like, "What's up, beta guys? Where's my beta gang at?"
That's
So
great.
guys, can you please, like, when the alphas are coming along, can you just make way? You know, make way.
I should do that.
You guys, so you know the way I've been telling you to, like, you know, instead of like dominating conversation like the alphas do, you know, the way you've been like listening to people and kind of like letting them speak. Unfortunately, all the women are more attracted to you now, and you're stealing the girls of the alphas, and they've been in touch. and they're not happy about it. Anyway,
that's
the reason I didn't do the bit is because you guys didn't laugh just there.
I was
No, I
just
was
thinking
wondering
about-
what else. I was thinking what else you could do with it. That's just you've said it to comedians, and I was just
yeah.
thinking like, yeah, that's exactly. I was like, well, what else could you go with that? Sorry.
I was
Yeah.
getting ready to do the comedian response where you say, "That's so funny," because you can't laugh.
No,
You can't laugh at each other's bit.
Well, I
yeah.
do.
I don't
But I'm
mind if
fake
you laugh
fuck.
at my jokes, actually.
Well, I have a process, and I can't. It is a boundary for me that I don't want to laugh at your jokes while you're still in development with them.
Now the teacher said, draw the line.
Shane, what do you think? Are you a Kardashian fan?
Yeah, I'm absolutely gripped, and I watch it, all of it, and I love what they're doing.
That seems insincere, but I think you are sincere.
No, I'm a big fan of their work. They're powerful.
Absolutely.
Social change.
Paul Mescal, Gladiator 2. That's exciting, isn't it?
That's very good.
Yeah, it's great. I saw him heartbroken at the Irish, the World Cup loss, and kind of shut myself off from it really since Ireland lost it. I don't have to talk about it. I know it's not really our vibe here on the podcast, but
Yeah.
I was a bit heartbroken.
Oh, did the sports ball team lose? Did you guys not have a good
Stop
game of
it.
sports ball?
Is this your beta cook
Apologies
shit again?
for not engaging with the sport ball. I tried to watch it, but people keep trying to politicize
shit.
rugby. It's a fucking game.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God, it's hard for me to fucking enjoy these guys singing this anthem, Zombie, which is just some
wound
fucking
me up
partitionist
so much.
nonsense. And I'm like, yeah, well, these guys are actually just fucking the echelons of society. And I'm doing
Yeah, I
the voice, accent I'm doing now is
Would
just
be pro rugby.
It's just a
It's so
slightly
harsh.
more enhanced version of my own voice.
Yeah.
But it is just these kind of nonsense take gurus. that are
Yeah,
on the
and then they're
internet.
like, will Ireland finally end their losing streak against Gibraltar? And this is the fucking team we can get behind. Like, you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Look at my jersey right now. I'm a big boys
Nice.
in green, no matter, and boys and girls in green supporter. USA 94.
That's great.
Yeah,
Well, what age were you in '94?
I was 1 year old.
Oh my god!
Yeah, 1 year old, and I remember it's so good when Ray Houghton kicked the ball in the back of that
You do
Italian
not
net.
remember.
I obviously don't remember.
That was '90, wasn't
I think he kicked in a lot of
it?
goals.
Was that his? Ireland 1, Italy 0.
Yeah,
Is that Ray Houghton?
that's Ray Houghton, I think. Yeah,
Which was I put the ball in the England net. I did.
That's
Ray Houghton did as
Ray
well.
Houghton did
Ray
as well.
Houghton,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember World Cup 94. It was very exciting. We got drive-through for the first time.
Wow.
And, and we sent my dad back in to get the caps.
Oh yeah.
From McDonald's, they had good caps.
Kind of completely destroying the reason of drive-through. Like you drove through, and then he had to get out of the car and go into McDonald's.
Because he loves his boys. Is there something wrong with a father loving his sons?
That's actually really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Did your mum ever wound up being like, "Get the fucking caps"? That was what my mum would kind of talk like.
Get the fuck out! Yeah, there was a bit of that. Can't believe. That's what my mum said, a lot of that one. And then when talked about cleaning, it was like, I scrubbed this house. I scrubbed. Like
Yeah.
you barely say the word. I scrubbed.
My
Yeah.
mum always says she got on her hands and knees. That's what she said. I was
Oh,
on
yeah.
my hands and knees.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm sorry. I scrubbed that floor. I was on my hands and knees.
I love
You
the
don't really
rubbish.
hear that. You don't really hear that kind of like too much anger being trying to squeeze out of a small space.
Yeah.
You know, that pitch you don't really hear much in 2023.
My friend's mum had a good one. She would say, I could stand upside down on my head. It doesn't make any particular
I got
sense.
what?
I could stand upside down on my head and you just wouldn't even know. You just wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
I just wouldn't even know.
Can I talk about scented candles because it came up earlier? And
Yes,
I don't
you
know,
may.
Don't know what's going on with scented candles. I think they have gone down a lane of sort of an avenue of which there is no return.
In terms of price.
Well, scented candles, from my understanding, used to be like smell like roses, and I'm like, oh, roses are lovely. Smell like
be
the
too sweet for
flowers.
me.
Smell like nice things. Now they are like a bog.
Yeah.
You want to smell like a bog? Hey, ever smelled a bog before? Yeah, big brown fucking candle. Smells like bog.
Yeah.
Big muddy, damp mud. Hey, you know what you want your house to smell like? Damp mud. And then like mist, rain.
I want one.
Rain,
You've said this to me
mist.
now, and as soon as you said that, I'm picturing the candle.
Why?
I'm picturing kind of like a forest green. I'm picturing like maybe a clay pot that's too thick with a candle inside. I want it. I just want it so bad.
I'm glad this has come up though, Killian. because they don't actually smell like anything anymore.
No, they all
They
smell.
actually don't. All the ones that are natural smells, they're like, it's beeswax and it's honey from the Liberties, and it's like, well, it doesn't smell like anything.
No,
So what
they
are you
all
talking
smell
about?
the same. It's just
Doesn't
naming
smell
them.
like anything.
They're all just trying to figure it's the Paltrow effect.
Yeah.
It's Gwyneth. They used to smell like flowers and things like that. Gwyneth came along, made a candle that smelled like her
Puss.
or like her
Vagina, please.
And
Sorry,
vagina,
Hillary.
please. And
Vulva.
Vulva.
her vulva. She made it, and the whole scented candle industry went mental.
Yes.
They're just like, what kind of mental things can we name? What do people want to smell? They want like Timothy Chalamet's armpit, or I don't know. Actually, I would like
I wouldn't
that.
mind. If we did a Young Hot Guys line of scented candles, what kind of scented space would you like yours to be?
I wouldn't have this issue because what it is it's a celebrity. It's just so obvious. Celebrities don't have people saying no around them. They don't have anyone going around them going, actually, Gwyneth, that's actually a bit rotten. I don't think anyone actually wants that.
Yeah, and
like,
we,
no one
we
wants
need
that in their
people to
house.
say no to us.
We do need, like,
we do.
Imagine I
We
just
do.
like,
As celebrities.
imagine I walked up to
We
you guys.
do.
I was like, guys, actually, weird one. I actually think I might make a candle that smells like my balls.
Yeah.
No one's gonna. You would both go. That's ridiculous. That's
I'd be quite curious. I would be curious to have a...
I'd be
It's
wondering if you
celebrities.
needed help securing the scent.
celebrities. They do it. They do what they want, and no one says no. They're like, actually, but he has this great idea. Yeah. Like, anyway, that's a thing that I think.
I would give you the scent of maybe a lavender. I think you had like a sleepy time pine, lavender kind of thing. Wood for you, maybe kind of a oud.
Big into wood smokes.
Okay, good.
If you want, I'm into smells.
I'd be into a leathery kind of musk.
Yeah.
Would be ideal for me. But what do you think of the lavender I gave you?
I'll take. Are you saying that's what
Your scented candle would
my
be.
scented candle would be?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Lavender. I take that.
It'd be
Yeah.
and I call it
actually,
Sleepy
do you know what
Boy.
I love? And it's too probably close to food is mint. It reminds me
Mint
of Wexford.
candle.
But then you can't have a mint candle because you'd want to eat it.
Yeah.
I have a minty and lavendery spray for the bed. The bed sleepy time spray.
You
That's
do?
nice.
I love
and
it.
you get into bed with Ray, be like, no. Doesn't that just smell nicer?
No, Ray's into. He's coming along. Sorry, I trampled on your joke. That was funny. Sorry.
It's fine.
You alright?
Hey, fucking don't act like that's the
talk
first
to your
time you've
dad.
ever done that.
Talk to your dad.
Talk to your dad.
Talk
Talk to your granddad.
I'm into
Talk to your
smells and
granddad
I
about your
want
lavender
natural
candles.
ones. But you know what? When the scented candles came in the boom times, they all were vanilla, and it was not real vanilla. And
You're staring off into space like you're triggered by this.
It's just, I want smells to smell. I want to smell like peat, and I want it to smell like,
Moss
salt
and bog.
and
See, we're
moss
the
and bog.
people to
and
buy this shit, Killian.
I'm into smells, but I just don't think it's real. I don't think it's real. I think it is a bit of what you call that story, Emperor's New Lavender. Like it is a bit Emperor's New Bog for me now. I have to say, and people who have mental health crises, which they're entitled to do, and then are like, I'm making candles.
Oh my
And you're
God,
like, are
isn't
you
it
making
crazy?
candles now?
It's crazy.
Are you making candles? What
Yeah.
are you doing? It's like, yes. So I'm making candles, and it was fine. So I got redundancy. They were forced redundancies, but we got redundancies, and then I'm making candles, and it's actually great because I've just spent it all on candles, and I'm gonna make so many candles. I just keep making these candles.
I bought 2 miles of wick.
I'm in too deep. I don't know what to do. There's so many candles. Paul left me.
All I had to do was do a kickback to the Red Witch,
Fine.
who I'm
you can give
paying-
it to the teacher at Christmas if you want. The candles. The candles.
Do you have any jars?
Is that
any jars?
Yeah, bespoke. Is that can I say bespoke? I can sell them at a Bang Bang and Pips Spread.
I know.
And I keep trying to make them smell like vanilla, but they just keep smelling like my own tears. They keep smelling like my own tears.
That's all I can smell.
Single Irish woman tears.
I've lost 2 friends to candles.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, 2 co-workers.
The candle business.
They've quit and gotten into the candle business. And they're all like, luminescent, lumineer.
What do you mean
light.
you've lost them? Like, do they?
They know
They're
the candle
under
industry.
the candle cult, the Red Witch. They now follow the Lady of the Light, and they all. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of like Ponzi scheme, or at least devil DM being like, you should get into candles. Like, what is
it's given big multi-level marketing energy. What do they call those?
Don't know.
My thing with the candles is the TikTok people who make candles. They make these bespoke kind of candles, and it's all these like young women who who kind of like want to be their own business, and it's kind of class. Like they make this content on TikTok and they sell loads of, and they're sort of their own and it's cool. But like I don't know, the thing with a lot of these small TikTok businesses is they sell them for like an astronomical amount, and people always comment going like, what's the story of this? Like, this is really unaffordable. And they kind of, for some reason, like these small businesses have this kind of like, fuck you mentality. Yeah. And they're like, well, actually, this is a bespoke made thing and it takes me hours to do. So I charge it for the rate that it's charged at.
It's like therapy speak or productions or like, you know, office speak.
And they're like, it's that famous TikTok song.
Know
like,
your worth.
It costs
know
that much
your worth.
It takes me fucking hours.
Yeah.
It costs that much because all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, but like, I can't just like, because I spent ages writing my stand-up set, I can't just charge people like 50 quid because that's how much I would be able to be. I would make a proper wage if I you can't do it that way.
No, your time is no more valuable than anybody else's. Do they have
Guess what? Candles isn't your job then. Guess what? Candles isn't your job anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can't charge that. You need to do something. Man, candles. Sorry, interrupted you.
Yeah, no, but there's a. Like sometimes I feel like I'm such a capitalist then, because I'm like, when people are like, there's the minimum wage is going up, and I'm like, we're struggling small business to try and pay this. I'm like, well, you can't afford to have business then. Close it. And then I'm like, am I the pig? Then am I the capitalist pig? Close your business, shut it down, put a hotel there. I'm like, your business is not viable. None of the businesses are viable. The Aldis and all them, they're like, oh, it's so cheap. It's like, yeah, but no one works there. So, like, did I already talk about this in this podcast?
No.
Do I just talk about the same thing all the time? But it was like, it's like, no one works there. So it's really annoying if you can't find a thing and you're like trying to chase it around and they're all like hiding or pushing the giant things. And like, no one works here. That's why it's cheap, because no one works here. You don't pay anyone. They're like, we pay our staff $14.50. Yeah, but there's two of them.
Yeah.
There's two of them running a whole this is a supermarket. Super.
I do feel that though when I go to like somewhere, like it's around Christmas and I'm like, oh, I'll pop into this little boutique, maybe get a little porcelain bell or something, you know? Yeah. And then I go in and it's like, back at 4, out for lunch. This is the only time I'm ever going to try and buy a little tiny porcelain bell, and you blimped it, love. You fucking blimped it.
Like shops that are in Ranelagh.
Yeah.
You know, like Cooley Boutique.
And you don't know what they sell. You have no idea. You're like, what is this a shop for? They just have like cloth, and you're like, is that a curtain? They're like, oh, it's just a really good material. It's from Egypt.
I might go
material.
I might start shopping in some sort of like ultra kind of like reflective suit so they can't physically stare at me. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd shop much. If I just knew that they couldn't see me and I was just giving off serious light, then I would like look at the little bells and see what I like. But as soon as they lock eyes with me, I'm like, oh, fuck this now. I'm going to have to, you know.
I'm going to buy the first bell that this guy suggests.
You know, or just like, I don't really want to talk. I don't know what I want. I want to treat this like a HMV, you know, and just have a look. I want to browse the DVDs. I don't want to talk about your wares, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll put on a ultra bioluminescent suit that's so bright that it's like, you know, and I'm just like looking at little bells.
Well, I mean, if you're going in there, you might as well steal the stuff. If you've managed to orchestrate this suit, you might as well just just steal.
You can't miss him. Officer,
the
you can't
luminescent
miss
glow has hit 3 more shops on the main street this week. The luminescent glow, it's unsure as to who this luminescent glow is, but he's going through all the small boutiques and stealing little porcelain bells.
If you hear ringing, it's already too late. If you see a light.
He's here. He's here. Shut the shutters. Scooby-Doo episode where they pull off. It's just you. Like little earrings or porcelain bells.
It's influencer Tony Cantwell. And I would have got no way but it for you, Gardy Shiakana.
Yeah. Fuck small businesses.
Fuck small. No.
I do love small businesses.
I love it.
They're so tiny. They're so
the
little.
businesses. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really tiny.
They're good.
I really do like them.
I mean, I wish we all had the money to spend €70 on a candle. You know, I love that's your dream. My favorite thing to do is candles. So that's it. That's the end of it. My favorite thing in the world.
Our candles in our house,
candles.
my granny sent me, and they were religious candles. Somehow, I think they've been blessed, and they were the candles we used. And that's the way it was back then.
They
were very oppressive, red, religious candles, and every time I looked at them, I remembered that I was responsible for the crucifixion of Jesus. And that's how I felt all the time.
I
actually thought of my granny. It was lovely.
Oh, that's very nice. Sorry, I was putting... Terry had COVID and I was running, she had a sore back as well, and I was running a bath for her. She was her first bath in the house that we're in. So I put a bath on, lit a load of candles for her. I had it all tidied and everything in the bathroom. took the nappies that were just strewn away out of there. They weren't in there anymore.
You took the shit out of there.
Took the shit out of there.
Oh my God, well
and I was like, go on in there. And I was walking in, I got a fucking bang of there were citronella candles to scare mosquitoes away.
No.
And they were everywhere. And I got a fucking waft in the face. Now, luckily, she had COVID and she couldn't smell anything. But the fucking bang of citronella off her afterwards.
She's just like clawing at the door, her eyes bleeding.
yeah.
Tony, what have you done?
No mozzies. It was a mozzie-free bath that I was.
That's what you're doing. It's important. Yeah. Okay, that was.
They were bright yellow or bright orange tea lights, so I kind of should have known that they weren't your traditional tea lights.
These are cheap.
I have
Yeah, they were so cheap.
I have them,
Yeah, they're good.
in the house. Under the sink. I put them
I
under
put
the
them
sink.
under the sink now.
Yeah, they
would
wouldn't go in with the other candles. They're for under the sink. They wouldn't,
Don't wanna
they'd
mix
go
them in.
in there.
Yeah.
Well, all in sundries under the sink. Oh, I need to do a job on that, actually. I need to do a job on that press.
Yeah, me
There has
too.
to be something has to be sorted out in there.
Killian, it's about time someone said this. You're a joke.
Do you know you go to the Jacks in the International? Sorry, we're talking shop here a bit here. Sorry, guys. But we do comedy in the International and you go down to the Jacks and it's like, it's one of the dirtiest toilets I've ever seen in real life. Acrid. But also, they have one of those, it's almost they have one of those hot fans that are meant to be blowing hot air out, but it's blowing in to the pub from the Indian next door. So it's blowing hot Indian spice right in your face as you take a piss. And I'm a fan of that smell normally, but not blasted in my face with a bit of spice of a piss. Do you know upstairs in the Inter where they have like all the seating, like they found all the furniture from, it was McDonald's were getting rid of it, and McDonald's furniture is made in a lab to make sure that you can only sit comfortably for half an hour. Like it's made so that your posture is in such a way that you don't want to stay there for very long, so that you have more turnover of customers at McDonald's. That's the furniture they have in the Inter for you to sit there and watch people do their show.
Ireland's iconic comedy club.
Ireland's iconic oldest comedy club.
I did a gig in the Inter on Tuesday.
How did it go?
It was good.
Micless?
It was sorry.
Micless?
No, they have
No,
the mic back.
I had a mic.
Do they?
I had a microphone.
It's been a while.
The seller has the mic again.
Okay.
You're on the posters.
Am I?
You're on all the posters. Yeah.
Sharon Mannion's posters.
Just like the general kind of like, come to the Inter. It's got comedy. Your face is on it. Your face isn't on it. Sorry,
Isn't
Shane.
it on the that's the comedy seller at the Inter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not on any of them, just so as you know.
Good.
You have to
But
be a
I
good
did
comedian.
I did look at people on the poster and go, I should be there instead of him, or I was very
That's
jealous
good.
that I
That's
wasn't on the
good.
poster. But we did a gig.
nice.
It was
I
fun.
like
You got up.
slipping occasionally.
Yeah. Killian Sundermann, nicest guy in the world. Deeply obsessed with himself. Like his
Yeah,
ego is
yeah.
huge. He's in comedy 18 months and thinks.
He actually brought a framed picture to hang in the Inter himself.
Yeah.
He
I
got
did
caught.
actually. I did. It actually went pretty well. Someone had written Donald Trump. I was able to do this bit because as I had been cycling in to the gig, I cycled to my gigs. I cycled past these two American tourists.
Why do you present that as a brag?
It is cool. It is cool.
I cycled past two American tourists, and I was at the traffic lights, and two American tourists were walking past, and they asked this man if he could give them directions to Pierce Street Station. And they went, "Excuse me, could you give us directions to Pierce Street Station?" And then the guy turned to them and went, "I don't know. Who did you vote for?"
Oh my God, I love it.
Love it.
I did one of those nights in Edinburgh with Vittorio Angeloni. It was very fun. I was very scared. It was like a crowdwork night called Off the Cuff.
Oh, yeah.
And the audience put in suggestions, and then you do 10 minutes on your own. It's like absolutely terrifying. But it's quite exhilarating.
It's because you get somewhere. You do end up getting somewhere. I thought and then you're kind of like, you get more very comfortable on stage because you're just making stuff up and you're making people laugh on the basis of that.
And it's also fine if it fails. It was really nice to have do comedy, do stand up without the pressure of it must go well, because you're like, obviously if it doesn't go well, they don't care because they're like, well, he's making it up, so
Yeah.
give him a break. And they're
But
like, it's
also,
grand.
you can't like, if it's your own material and it doesn't land, it's hard to pivot into a new punchline of your own material. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But you can move around and navigate thoughts and act like this wasn't the whole picture to begin with. But when you sometimes present the whole picture and they don't laugh, then it's kind of like,
Sad.
you know?
They're like, you're not worthy. Mm-hmm. You are not worthy of our laughter.
I can hear my skin right now.
Yeah.
I can hear it creak. Yeah, but good gig, you recommend?
Yeah, I felt great afterwards. I felt like I think the best comedian in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that. Definitely top 3.
Yeah. to go cycling home, shouting "fuck Trump" as loud as he could.
Where are those two people actually? Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You better vote Biden. Not even I'm anti-Trump. I'm just so pro-Biden. You better fucking vote with Biden.
I know. It's like it's Biden. Like, what if they'd voted Biden? Like, who? Like, he's.
I mean,
Then he would have given them directions quicker, maybe. But I know you're not supposed to be ageist and whatever, but like somebody was like, Trump's whatever, nearly 80 as well, isn't he? And then somebody was like, there is a real danger of Trump. If he gets back in, he'll be president for life. And then someone was like, yes, I'll just spare 4 more years anyway. So I was like, chill out. I thought it's so funny. It's like, I love that the dramatics of the Americans. We are about to enter a fascist dictatorship under Trump for the rest of our lives. Like, yeah, he'll be dead. Like, what do you say? And it won't. Anyway, will you
There's a really good, when Joe Biden was elected president, someone just tweeted going, God, I wish Joe Biden was alive today to see this.
I don't want to be ageist, but I do think just get out of the way. Like at a certain point, get out of the way.
I think
Even in a workplace situation, I'm like, sometimes there is unpaid labor of younger people helping older people who pretend not to know how to work their things.
Totally. But I think
they won't get on board with like chat functions.
Yes,
they won't do it.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'll email you, I'll phone you. It was like, if you just answer that, it's like a text, but it's on the computer. Do you get it? And it's like, I never use that. Well, you should.
No.
Nuala?
No, I think text and messaging and chat, unless it's specifically like Slack, I think that should be gotten rid of for the workplace.
You haven't had colleagues for years.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, especially with tech kind of stuff. I have a friend who worked in the civil service and they couldn't open this very important document. They were like, we can't open it. Like, fucking, the minister's coming and we don't know how to open it. It's not, we don't have, I don't know what's going on. It's broken. The file's corrupted.
What a sitcom setup. The minister is coming.
Yeah.
Mr. Yakitori is coming.
But if you work in civil service, there is always a minister coming at some point. He's coming pretty
He's on
soon.
his way and he needs the file to present.
You've slurred a couple of things now. You've gone very Kerry Katona now this morning.
No, I'm on medication.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you're on medication.
Okay, so the minister's coming.
Sorry, Killian.
Minister Kerry Katona is on her way.
And Minister Katona will be here in a minute.
Minister Katona is there with all of the kittens. And
hadn't spoken to them in years. It was going to be the reunion.
Anyway, he's not able to open it. Everyone's freaking out. And my friend just goes to the thing, right-clicks it, and like it's obviously been assigned the wrong software to open with. So he's trying to open a PDF with some sort of like Word file or something like that. So he just right-clicks it and does open with, and then opens it with some sort of PDF viewer, and it opens up, and like the head of the department sends an email to every single person working there going, guys, disaster averted. Technological genius. Our new technological genius has saved this very department. And he's like, Jesus, this is the people who are in charge of like running things.
Guys, please can I have your attention because I'm only going to nip out on the punto once.
I did this. There's a new app. Maybe it's not new, but I've just come into contact with this app where there's food that it no longer has shelf life, or very much shelf life. So businesses will make a thing called a surprise box. They'll put it all together and then you can pick it up at certain times of the day, usually at the end of the day, and you pay like a very reduced amount. And I was like, oh, this is kind of environmental. This is cool. It looks like you're going to make, because they'll say this thing is worth like 20 quid and you're paying like €5.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, this sounds class. So I went to one of the shops to get I paid €6 for this surprise bag. I'm like, what is it going to be? I went up to the guy and I was like, vegetarian, no meat, please. And he was like, vegetarian, okay. And then he came back, gave me a bag. And I was like, do you know what? It feels really heavy. I'm going to wait till I get home and me and Anna can open it together. Do you know what was in it? A thing of bananas, 2 little fruit bowls, and then a massive gâteau. Like the biggest cake I've ever seen, like a Black Forest gâteau.
Was it good?
It was the silliest cake I've ever eaten in my life.
Okay.
It was just made of cream.
Did you think it was going to be you had to eat it soon?
We had to eat it like
yesterday.
This cake, we sliced into it. I was like, fine, I'll eat it. We sliced into it and it just kept going. The cream just kept going. It's a Bavarois. It's a French style. It's just made of cream.
Wow.
It was the silliest cake. I took one bite. I was like, "That's silly. I can't eat that." It's too
Was it?
silly.
And did you think you were opening your dinner?
I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be classic. Maybe we could eat some bananas and cream."
You could have.
And we literally the cake. Ate as much of it as we could, and then gave some to the neighbours, and then in the bin.
That's very sweet.
It was not good, and we will try again. We will try again with this app, but
I got an app
so
for you
far,
for old food. It's called the fucking bin, mate. It's called the fucking bin, and I've been there. I've eaten out of bins.
We're just about out of time, so thank you so much, everybody who sent in your job interview horror stories.
Oh God, we didn't get time.
We will hopefully get back to them next week. We have them coming, so keep sending them in.
Yeah, send in the job interview. We did read some of them. Now, oh my God, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy, but do send in, and we will get to them next week.
We will get to them next week.
And also, if you can send in a list of stuff you're going to talk to your granddad about as well, it'd be great. Granddaddics.
Granddad chats. What do we do when we have them? No one knows.
No one knows.
So let's send in some granddad chats, and thanks so much for listening to the podcast. You guys are crazy.
Bye. Bye.
Very attractive. Very attractive.
Hot and loud. And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around. Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
This show is part of the HeadStuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with HeadStuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.